All right, people, no more excuses. It's time for a change because we're all in this together. The cure to all of our problems is veganism. We need to all eat a vegan diet. No, it's not a personal choice anymore. It's never a personal choice when there's a victim. So stop with those excuses. Billions of animals are dying a year needlessly. So stop making excuses. Especially the number one excuse, where will I get my protein? Plants are the original source of all protein. And most plants, a lot of plants have more protein than animal flesh.
Now, here's the reality. All life on this earth comes from where? Sun. Every drop of protein is in a leaf. The foods that have the most protein in it are the foods with the most sunlight in it. Again, I'll repeat. This is the most protein-rich diet on the planet Earth. You're looking at somebody that hasn't touched anything but plant-based protein for 40 years.
The flesh from an animal is the number one cause of death in this world.
But I was impressed with all the fat in his bloodstream. We took Mr. Phillips down to the operating room, and I gave him 1,000 micrograms of fentanyl and put him to sleep, and the surgeon opened up his chest and opened up his aorta and opened up his coronary arteries. And what the surgeon started pulling out of Mr. Phillips' arteries were great, long, yellow, greasy, sausage-like formations of fat that looked like this.
We have about 60,000 miles of blood vessels in our body. So it's no wonder that when we eat more healthfully, it's good for literally every square millimeter of us.
Probably the biggest problem I got getting people to change their diet was this obsession with protein. The more I educated myself, the more shocked I was. More shocked I was that people don't know about this, that other doctors don't know about this, that medical schools aren't teaching this. And the simple fact that a plant-based diet could just change your life and every disease that I treat.
Quite literally, animal protein is the root of all evil. Everyone needs B12, including meat eaters.
So again, everyone needs it. Now here's another little interesting point. The people with the highest incidence or largest levels of B12 deficiencies consume the most meat and the most dairy. Now, remember, animals have lots of B12. Why? Because where is their beak and where are their teeth all day long? On the soil. But what do people do? They don't go out and take the animal and drink blood from its neck and get fresh bacteria. Let's thank God for that. What they do is have some rancher somewhere in the world slaughter the animal, freeze it, send it, and then they cook it. Bacteria, as you understand, is heat sensitive. So their bodies, unfortunately, have a neutered form of B12 coming in with the carcasses that they're consuming. The body now assumes that they're getting some level of B12 that is completely unusable, 100% unusable, and that's why they have a higher deficiency level.
Read Dr. McDougall's book, The Starch Solution. It's the only vitamin he recommends is B12. No matter how you spin it, we are not designed to eat animals. Our canine teeth are nothing like the canine teeth of a true carnivore. All carnivores have the right anatomy, the desire and taste for blood, just the opposite of us humans.
What the hell is everybody always talking about when they scream at me, hey, we got canines, what about these canines, man? Look at these canines. You've got to be kidding me. And if you really think that these flat teeth, and not these pointy ones over here, that these flat teeth were made for animal flesh and not plants.
Because we're eating the wrong food for our design, it's setting us up for cancer and other diseases. Learn from doctors who have studied nutrition more than any other people on the planet. Doctors like Michael Greger.
We could prevent, tens of thousands of cancer deaths every year. If half of the country ate a single more serving of fruits and vegetables, we'd save prevent 20,000 cancer deaths a year. That's how powerful plants are. People don't understand. Whole food plant-based diet is more powerful than anything we have in medicine when it comes to some of these chronic diseases.
Yes, we're not all the same on this planet, but we are all equal. We all deserve a right to live. And humans are taking much more than they deserve. Animals are not here for us to eat, and it's a very violent nature to kill and to raise animals for food or to use them for religious services or practices. Billions upon billions of animals a year are dying because we think we need them for nutrition and we don't. This is what our slaughterhouses should look like. Just fruit and vegetables and whole grains and nuts and seeds. This is how we're designed to eat. And it's very inexpensive.
And I'm really confused when people say that vegan food is more expensive. Exactly when did bananas and apples and carrots and cucumbers and potatoes and broccoli and tofu and barley become more expensive than meat, cheese, milk, eggs, and honey?
Revolve our diet around beans and potatoes and whole grains, because those are the foods that we're designed to function on. Those are the filling foods. And then complement that with a rainbow of fruits and vegetables. Not only are these foods the healthiest foods for the human design, but they also use the least amount of resources. And one of the most precious resources that we're wasting right now is water. The majority of the water on planet Earth is going to grow food, not for humans, but for animals, for the billions upon billions of animals that we raise unnecessarily for food. Taking shorter showers and letting your lawns die is not the solution. Stop eating meat is the solution.
The average household in our country uses 50,000 gallons of water in 1 year, according to the EPA. About the same outdoors. That's quite a bit of water. And it's what we're focused on in times of drought, isn't it? Like how to reduce this. The average person in our country, though, consumes 206 pounds of meat in 1 year, divided between 46 pounds of pig and 58 pounds of cow and 102 pounds of chicken and turkey, in addition to the 248 eggs and 616 pounds of dairy products, which equates to 405,000 gallons conservatively of water per person per year just to support that animal product diet. So
animals are being fed the majority of food grown on planet Earth till they're as fat as they can be so we can have a hamburger or a hot dog or a steak while others starve because of lack of food.
Were you aware that every 2 to 3 seconds some human on this planet died from starvation? While we're getting together with ESPN coverage to see who can eat 61 hot dogs in 10 minutes. 50% of the world's crops, 50%, they're set aside every single year to feed the billions of animals in the meat, dairy, and egg industries. 95% of soy in America, 80% of all the corn in America, 70% of the oats in America, that's animal feed. Cows and pigs and chickens and turkeys, they never miss a meal. They always get fed. There's only 7.5 billion people on the planet. Do the math.
And all the waste from all these animals, these billions upon billions of animals, has to go somewhere, and it's going right into our oceans and rivers and streams, making animal agriculture the biggest polluter on planet Earth. So if you're an environmentalist, don't call yourself an environmentalist if you still eat meat. These factory animal farms need to be replaced with factory vegetable farms. The longest living people on planet Earth have always been vegans.
The dietary guidelines recommend that we try to choose meals or snacks that are high in nutrients but lower in calories to reduce the risk of chronic disease. By this measure, the healthiest foods on the planet, the most nutrient-dense, are vegetables, containing the most nutrient bang for our caloric buck. So what would happen if a population centered their entire diet around vegetables? They might end up living among the longest lives in the world. This is how it breaks down. Only 1% of their diet was fish. Less than 1% of their diet was meat, and same with eggs and dairy. So it was more than 96% plant-based. Since the one population that lives even longer than the Okinawa Japanese don't just eat a 98% meat-free diet, they eat 100% meat-free. The Adventist vegetarians in California, with perhaps the highest life expectancy of any formally described population. Adventist vegetarian men and women live to be about 83 and 86, comparable to Okinawan women, but better than Okinawan men. The best of the best were Adventist vegetarians who had healthy lifestyles too, like exercising non-smokers.
My dream is that every human being on planet Earth becomes a vegan. It's time to break up with that meat habit.
Meat, I can't do this anymore. You make me sick. All my life, all I've ever wanted was to make you happy.
No, you literally make me sick. Like, my cholesterol is through the roof, and I'm breaking out like crazy. Look at my face.
Okay, but at least I give you protein.
You think you're the only one who has protein?
Come on, babe. Don't tell me you're gonna go to Veggie Burger.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
Dude, Veggie Burger keeps me very satisfied. He is good for me. Like, this just isn't a healthy relationship, and I think we're done here.
Come on, one more bite.
No.
For old time's sake.
Be proud to call yourself a vegan, because when you live a vegan lifestyle, it fixes everything.
I also don't like to use the word typical vegan, because I don't know what a typical vegan is anymore. I don't know if there's such a thing. I think that sort of 70s version of the tree-hugging, crystal-powered, Birkenstock-wearing unicorn rider is sort of nonsense and has been for a long time.
A vegan lives a life of nonviolence. Nonviolence to themselves, to other living creatures, or to the planet. Start your journey by going to onesingleact.org and learn how to eat a plant-only diet.